Let's do it. Raw Toxins wants a hello, and you're gonna get more than that. Raw Toxins, how are you? We're talking about love. Raw Toxins, the brand newest sub here. You know, there's something that I don't do anymore. I used to do, but I can't handle saying welcome to the day nights every time. This is the day night community. I prefer to say hello because I don't want to just be like, hey, and then you get the same fortune cookie that everyone else got. I don't like that. So Raw Toxins, what we're gonna tell now, Raw Toxins, we're gonna tell the story of your childhood crush, the youngest crush you remember. Raw Toxins. What was her name? And give me some incomplete description of what you look like. I don't want it to actually be a good or accurate description. Something incomplete so we can fill it in with the power that Bob Ross describes as our imagination. So Raw Toxins, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get this segment on point. Damn it, I wish that light would keep going out. I look so much better with a light in my face. Alright, Raw Toxins. Who is Raw Toxins? I don't know, maybe Raw Toxins is a superhero like the Flash who had Raw Toxins dumped on him, but nothing happened. He just had a rash. And so instead of being the Flash, he just became Raw Toxins. Isn't that sad? Raw Toxins isn't talking in chat. Where'd you go, Raw Toxins? Where did you go? I hope Raw Toxins types, because that would be the bad side of Raw Toxins. Raw Toxins could have been the Johnny Depp of the school yard grounds. Oh, Raw Toxins. Oh my god. It says, well, her name was Jessica. I have a beard, I'm tall and slightly out of shape, but whatever you say is going to be amazing. Okay. You know what her name was? It was Jessica! If you've watched Jessica Jones, that's funny. If you haven't, oh, still pretty funny. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's tell the story. Raw Toxins and Jessica. So when Raw Toxins was in 6th grade, it was very similar to the way he is right now. Raw Toxins, he had a beard. He went through puberty in 5th grade, right? So everyone else in his entire grade, in Raw Toxins' grade, they were still like 5 foot even. I mean, we're talking boys like 4'6" who weigh 80 pounds tops. Maybe less than that. You know what? I'm proud to say that I don't know how much a small child weighs. I don't know how much a small child weighs. Maybe there's an expert who can inform me of this. But you know what? Hang on to that expertise. I don't know how much a small child weighs. We're gonna go with 80 pounds. I bet a small child weighs about 2 bicycles. That's where I'm going. And a bicycle is somewhere between 20 and 40 pounds. I mean, maybe children weigh about 3 bicycles. Jesus. The important thing is that the daily is about discovery. So, Raw Toxins, 6th grade. Shit, man. Raw Toxins, 5th grade, completes puberty. He's 6'3". That's 190-some centimeters for anyone who lives not in America. Because America, for some reason, still uses the standard system. Raw Toxins was huge, bearded, had a stubble growing in. Was even too young for his parents to have taught him how to shave. He didn't even know how to shave. It was just like a bear clawing bees off his face every time he tried to shave because he was so manly. And just like now, Raw Toxins back then would have described himself as slightly out of shape, but really Raw Toxins was rippling with muscle, just as he is now, but he likes to downplay it because he knows he can always do better. That's what I like about Raw Toxins. He's a real champ. What does this shit do? If my hand is empty, deal to... No, that's... God, I gotta say, that's actually quite bad. This hand sucks. So Raw Toxins. A 6th grader. He's 6'3". He's surrounded by a bunch of 80-pound children. Possibly. He's surrounded by a whole bunch of children that are measured in units of bicycles. Covered in muscle. Every time he reaches for something, all the 4'5", 80-pound children, ladies that look at him can't help but notice the corded muscle and the tendons flexing as he simply grabs the crayon. I actually don't know what people did in 6th grade. I'm not an educational expert, but I assume they still use crayons. People use crayons pretty much up until they graduate high school in America. So Scarbane asks if I've considered motivational speaking, because I'm motivating you right now. I don't know if you're insinuating something, but I am a patented motivational speaker, and I hate this deck. I really wish I had Innervate, man. I hate those golems. Those golems suck a lot of ass. And we're gonna come back to that. I just need to figure out this turn.
My shield for Argon. All the while.
That's literally the worst turn of Hearthstone I've ever played. A lot of people like to make highlight videos of me making errors, but this truly is the worst. A naked defender of Argus, hero power a hit, leave 2 mana left over, pass. That's the worst turn. This is officially the worst. And of course, it feels good to hit rock bottom. I always like hitting rock bottom in a day or in life because I know it's all uphill from here. So the important thing is that we're talking about raw toxins. Raw toxins, covered in muscle. He's got a beard, he's tall. I learned no other additional information, so I can only assume that raw toxins is kind of like an anime superhero.
Can I help you, sir? My shield for Argon.
His hair is black with a little bit of dark blue in there. It sheets like this. It actually looks like a single polygon. His hair just, and he has a couple spikes up this way, and his beard also dark black, but not all the way black. Has a little bit of blue, like the color of the sky on a night with no stars. That is raw toxins. A 6th grader with so much sexual prowess. We lost? We fucking lost this game? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, we got demoted? Fuck. His hair is a dark blue. He's got the beard with spikes. He has so much just sexual effervescence to him that we're not allowed to talk about it any further on Twitch TV. Hottest 6th grader that has ever been imaginable. And he set his eyes upon a girl with silver hair. Her name was Jessica. She's a valiant, noble, glorious maiden. She comes from an aristocratic family who believes in doing the proper thing, the right thing. Raw Toxins was raised in a single family, only one parent who worked 80 hours a week just to support him, but in supporting him didn't give him enough attention, so Raw Toxins held a deep anger inside that he could only express with the hair covering his left eye as he went to play Foursquare on Wednesdays. I have to mulligan. I didn't get rid of that stuff. Fuck! I want... You're gone. Now, Raw Toxins, I need to get some additional information from you. We know that Jessica is from a wealthy family. She shows up to 6th grade in a BMW wearing Prada and Dolce and Gabbana. I don't know the names of things that exist in the world, but she's probably wearing that. Am I right or am I right? I think I'm right. From a wealthy family, Raw Toxins from a poor family, and Raw Toxins has got to be the hottest 6th grader that has ever been brought up in an acceptable fashion publicly. What happens next, Raw Toxin? How did you meet Jessica? I need to know. We needed some factual details here, Raw Toxins. You sub to other people, and they say welcome to the same shit they say to everyone else. Day 9 TV, we figure out your love story. We make it up as we go. We're gonna find out true love to you. That's what happens. He says, holy fuck, this made my sickness way better. Maybe it made your fever go down. I don't know. Could have happened. I have that power. Let's report that publicly. Alright. We're going to learn a little bit of the story of Raw Toxin's very first meeting with Jessica, but I know some of you want to know some of the backstory of the setting of this elementary school. So Raw Toxins, of course, every morning when he wakes up, Raw Toxins. Oh, she was my secret Santa during Christmas. Oh, that's so filthy. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Have we lost? I hate this day. Okay, well, we're gonna...
I can see.
I have to put in Innervates, Raw Toxins. I have to put in the Innervates. I didn't realize this, but... Bye-bye. Hello, hello. I'm gonna go back to the original construction by the person who achieved legendary status with this deck. I'm not better than they are. Harvest Golems are not better than Innervates. It's not the correct play. So, there's Raw Toxins, right? Raw Toxins. Despite the fact that he has this anger inside of him, his single parent, I don't know, is it a mother? It is a father? It's a father now. His single parent, his father does nothing but work. Works at a junkyard during the day, works at a construction site during the night, just trying to make sure that he can earn enough to buy the crayons that Raw Toxins goes to elementary school with. And despite this shambling home life that Raw Toxins comes from, where he's not given the emotional attention that he needs, so he has the blue hair covering his left eye, he always packs an organized trapper-keeper. He puts his crayons in exactly the right place. Each 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper is arranged perfectly inside each 3-hole punched page, with all the little frilly bits ripped off the ends, because nothing pleases Raw Toxins so much as to make the crooked straight and to crush down uneven places. He went to school one day with crayons. Apparently this is now core to your identity, Raw Toxins, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize that's who you were, but that's who you fucking are now. You're that crayon guy who fell in love with a girl. Your hair's blue. Shows up one day to school, only to enter social studies, which is a sort of catch-all for shit in the American education system. Other places talk about history, sociology, anthropology, psychology. We call it social studies. Shows up to social studies class, which is in the 6th grade the same as every other class. But this particular day on that particular subject, Jessica was there. She raised her hand. Mrs. Lobster! We're gonna stick with lobster because the chat indicated to me that that was a funny word about 25 minutes ago. Mrs. Lobster, said Jessica, do you need the homework that we did last night? And the entire classroom gave a collective sigh. Oh, Jessica, why did you bring up the homework? Fuck! This is as angry as a young child could get. I didn't do the homework. Why would you bring it up, Jessica? Don't tell Mrs. Lobster, who hopefully won't give any of the children a hot lobster. And they all moaned, upset, devastated that Jessica could have brought up the fact that homework was due today. They didn't do the homework. They went home and played Pogs, because in this story, Raw Toxins is young, and all youth in that era played Pogs. But Jessica, the one responsible one, turned it in, and there was a moment there. And that's when Raw Toxins realized that she was different. She was someone unlike any of the other young, foolish, trite, 80-pound children. I'm starting to think 80 pounds might be a lot for a child. 80-pound children thought. And at that moment, love filled inside of Raw Toxins. His nostrils flared, his pupil dilated. He sat up straight. He had an erection. Let me turn my light back on. Let me kill this. Yeah, let's moonfire that. Easy turn. But of course, Raw Toxins suffered the fate of all people under the age of 23. Raw Toxins was not an adult. Raw Toxins had not achieved the capabilities to simply walk up to someone whom aroused.
What to do?
I was ungrammatical. Who aroused him. He could not simply go up and say, hey, and talk to her like a normal person. No, Raw Toxins was but a youth. And the youth work in mysterious, roundabout, unexplainable, odd, dangerous, bad, unfortunate, poor ways.
Shield for Argus.
Feel nature's wrath.
So you know what Raw Toxins did? He created a brand new section in his Trapper Keeper. Math, English, Social Studies, Jessica at the bottom. Everything she said he recorded down there like a total creep, but only creepy after the age of 23. Before then, that's just what you do, he wrote down. Did you want homework for today? Yes, Jessica, say more things. I think zebras are not as interesting as ponies. Write it down. Raw Toxins. Yeah. Yes, every day raw toxins would show up, speaking nothing, and of course Jessica from on the other side of the classroom. Assigned seating was a thing, because elementary school is very similar to prison in America. What do we have going on here?
All the while.
Kill that, break this, kill that, kill that. Blah. And Jessica, of course, saw the angst, the organization, the mystery, the rippling muscles, the blue hair, the beard. Jesus, 6th grade and a beard? Yes, raw toxins, who fell into a pool of raw toxins as they were dumped on top of him, had evolved to be a hot man with pain under... Excuse me, I drooled. With pain underneath him. Jessica's eye was drawn, but the mystery was still there. For raw toxins had piqued Jessica's interest. And raw toxins sat at the other end, muscled, bearded, hard, recording everything she wrote in his Crapper Keeper. It was the way of a 6th grader. Until that fateful day. Advent calendars, half elapsed, chocolates devoured every morning, out of order according to the nutritional pyramid. When one day Mrs. Lobster said to the class, children, children, it's time for Secret Santa. And everyone said, my God, Mrs. Lobster, your voice is so beautiful. This is an explosive trap. I can say nothing more than that sucks a lot of ass. One time.
The breach. Time waits for no one.
Ah! Ah!
All the while.
Don't die. I hope he has no damage in his hand. I hope he has no damage in his hand. Mrs. Lobster, on that fateful day in the middle of the day. It's time for Secret Santa! Look.
I can see.
And of course, there raw toxins sat. Yeah. And Jessica sat alert like a pigeon in the presence of bread. Mrs. Lobster said, oh shit, that's so funny. Mrs. Lobster said, oh! It is time for Secret Santa! The ears on high alert from Jessica and raw toxins. They pointed their way as much as a human can point their ears towards Mrs. Lobster, who then began collecting name tags from the children. Again, it's a lot like prison in America. Put them into a hat, and from whence the hat raw toxins drew the one name he had dreamed about every night, unable to do anything because no one in America is explained feelings, romance, arousal at the age of however old you are in 6th grade. And on that name tag was Jessica! Raw toxins then had to decide what it was that Jessica wanted. And this is where, raw toxins, I need you to tell me. What did you get, Jessica? Jessica! God, that is funny. Raw toxins, what happened next? We know a little bit about you, we know a little bit about her. You're poor and damaged, she's wealthy and just right.
Your soul shall be mine.
I need to know what you got her.
Protect the wild.
We're waiting on raw toxins. Like, I know where I feel like the story should go, but I don't know if that's where the story goes. What happened? We've got a lot of subs between here. Oh, I got linked to a average weight from children by age. Jesus, 6th graders weigh about 80 pounds. That's amazing. Oh my god! We actually, I think, did better than anything. Raw Toxin said she really wanted a dollhouse, so I got her one. Let me tell you what happened. Raw Toxins knew that Jessica was in a whole other, I don't know, social strata, a different caste than he. Raw Toxins knew not what the wishes and wants were of those with money and wealth. He assumed that they could have everything they ever wanted, perhaps with support for a charity. Perhaps it was a conversation about philosophy. But as it turned out, no matter how much money you have in America, you still want more shit. And Jessica wanted a dollhouse. Recorded in the back of the Trapper Keeper that Raw Toxins took with him everywhere. Deeply detailed, scrupulous records
My seal for Argus.
of dollhouses, dollhouse dimensions, dolls. I don't know a lot about dollhouses, but Raw Toxins certainly did. And oh, the data he kept. And oh, how he saved. Raw Toxins knew. He didn't have an income. 6th graders don't even know what that word means, but Raw Toxins knew that dollhouses didn't happen out of the blue. Dollhouses were bought at things called stores from people called old ladies. No offense to anyone who likes dollhouses. And the only skill that Raw Toxins had to collect that money was the late-night elementary school street fighting that had run rampant in his county or city or whatever. I don't know much about Raw Toxins, but I can only assume. The late-night street fighting, drug-dealing, car-racing, bare-knuckled brutality that ran rampant through the county or city or whatever it was that Raw Toxins lived in. Maybe it was a house, even. What's happening in this game? Kill that asshole. Play this nerd. Kill this one, and then this one, and then you, and off to town we go. Raw Toxins showed up that night. He'd skipped lunch. His stomach said, much like a HearthStone card. It grumbled. He was hungry, but he knew he had to earn enough money for the dollhouse that Jessica wanted.
Put this apple on your head.
And so Raw Toxins beat the shit out of some other 80-pound children. Isn't that fucked up? Beat the shit out of them. Oh my god, he literally knuckles to the face. And remember, in this story, Raw Toxins is a 6'3". He's like over 190 centimeters. Corded muscle. Are you kidding? He's like the John Cena of 6th graders. Bam! Just punched in the nose again until it looked like it was like a bomb went off. Thought Sin City was gruesome. You should have seen what Raw Toxins did to the other children. Oh my god, they walked in like little headless horsemen with no horses. Just small arms and legs and bodies, and that was it. Done. And the teacher was like, what happened to you last night? And then just blah, 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 blood just out of a neck. That's what Raw Toxins did to earn up. Isn't that sad? Wow. What's happening in this game?
I wonder.
I wonder as well.
Sustenance.
Let me get that.
Saving no expense, sparing nothing. Raw Toxins took out a wad of $1,000 bills and purchased the most beautiful dollhouse that had ever been created. A dollhouse designed by Galileo, built by Dali, and produced by Intel. This dollhouse ran really fast on 6 cores, let me tell you. It was a dollhouse to behold. Hold on, let me win this game real
My
fast.
shield for Argon.
For the wild.
A dollhouse that was self-aware enough to clean up after the mess that the dolls had inside created. It was 3 stories, a Victorian-era looking house. I guess that doesn't make sense if Galileo designed it. It was a really old-looking one. It had stone pillars and a campfire and huts and shit. And Raw Toxin said, this is perfect, a self-aware ancient house with abstract melting clocks all over it.
Many possibilities.
He purchased it with his stack of $1,000 bills, $1,000 bills, which if you can square math quickly enough, is a $1 million dollhouse. With the blood of other 6th graders on his hand. 80-pound 6th graders, mind you, because I don't know why that fact is funny, but I know that it's funny. Raw Toxins went up to Jessica because he realized that if he was to fall in love with Jessica, I fucked that up. If Jessica was to fall in love with him in the same way that he had been infected by love for her, there could be no secrets between them. He presented the dollhouse to her and said, I'm your secret Santa, Jessica, and I'm in love with you. And Raw Toxins tell us what happened. While I win this fucking game of HearthStone. Oh my god! And with his blue hair comfortably over his left eye, with his blue hair comfortably over his left eye, his beard had grown in. Not a single blemish on his face, not a single doubt in his eye. Raw Toxins placed the $1 million dollhouse in front of the aristocratic Jessica, to which she said, and I'm seriously waiting, I think the chat delay's a little long. Well, let's continue to increase the drama. And Mrs. Lobster was like, no, Raw Toxins, you can't violate the secrecy of Secret Santa. She was going through some sort of weird midlife puberty that made her voice crack, and all the other children were going, ah! Like they had been set on fire. Like they were the Pillsbury Doughboy being put inside the oven. Their screams echoed in apparently the hallway where school was taught, where Raw Toxins lived. The aristocrat Jessica, who lived in the $1 billion mansion on top of the hill that was on top of the mountain that was surrounded by the fence that had been built hundreds of years ago. An heirloom to an age past. And Raw Toxins, the broke-ass, tough, hot son of an overworking father with a damaged heart. What did she say? God damn it, Raw Toxins, why haven't you typed anything? What did she say? What did she say? What did she say? What happened? What happened when you gave her the gift? A dollhouse, I got her a dollhouse. What happened? Oh, light went out. Turn that one back on. What happened? Roll Toxin said, well, we did date in that grade, but the dollhouse was broke when she pushed her friend into it. Isn't that sad? Alright, see you tomorrow for more Hearthstone.